My name is Rasha Shaheen. I am Egyptian and I've been living in Bristol for about 14 years. I was born in Kuwait, but my parents are Egyptian. I lived there for 3 years and then I came to North Wales. Yeah, I spoke Arabic and didn't know any English, and all I remember is that soon changed and I just picked up English really quickly and was forgetting my Arabic. And my mother would always speak to me in Arabic, but I'd reply in English. I actually liked Bangor and North Wales. The hills, the sheep, it was nice. I was 9 when I found out that we were going to Saudi Arabia. 2 weeks before we went, I watched a film called Death of a Princess. It's about a princess who was being executed for falling in love and running away with her boyfriend. And it was a true story, and being horrified that I was going to that country. All of a sudden, everything changed. I remember having to cover my face when I was going to school. Before I would have friends who were boys and I couldn't, not because of my parents were fine, but just the whole society. I'd go to music shops and it was, on the sign it would say, no dogs, no women allowed. It was so blatantly sexist. I didn't like Saudi Arabia at all. No music lessons, no art lessons. But luckily, I used to come here every summer and get my fix, my freedom fix. I was there till I was 16. I came back to the UK. You know, my father was still working in Saudi Arabia, and so I was old enough to live by myself, and so I did. I started living by myself. I think that's when I really got introduced to music. You know, I used to think it was some kind of magic that I couldn't understand. And I met a Bristol band called the Moonflowers, who I used to go on tour with and sell their t-shirts, and they used to teach me how to play music in the back of the van. From being in a place where you're not allowed to walk the streets by yourself, you're not allowed to make any kind of decision by yourself. All of a sudden I was by myself. I used to go out partying and I got myself into trouble. I was here on a student visa and I forgot to renew my visa. And I just thought I could say sorry and it would be all right, but it wasn't. And I got asked to leave, and I left before they deported me. And I went to Egypt when I was 21. Yeah, it was the first time I lived there, that's right, and worked there. Cairo is a really complex place that has all sorts of lives happening at the same time. So you have a lot of oppression, then you have tourists who come and they can just do whatever they want. My way around that, to get that freedom, was to work in the tourist industry. I remember hearing stories about some people going to a concert with musicians in the middle of the night got arrested from their houses, and just for basically freedom of speech. That used to really eat me up. People were scared, really, of secret police and things like that. And basically, an artist's job is to say their ideas, explore their thoughts, and it wasn't encouraged. Before I left, I was actually seeing someone in the UK. All my friends here, everyone just thought I was going to come back and go away, say sorry and ask to apply again, and that didn't happen. And my boyfriend at the time then asked to marry me, and that's how I came back to England. Doesn't sound very romantic, does it? If I was allowed to come, then it probably wouldn't have happened, because we're divorced now, so I guess that kind of says it. It's 2011 now. I think I got my citizenship in 2008, so I waited 10 years to do it. And luckily I met 2 other girls who were in the same situation as me. They were foreigners who were married and they wanted to apply for citizenship. Me and this girl called Yelena and Kate Rich. And Kate decided to make an art project out of the whole situation. We made a MySpace page called Life in the UK. So we are 3 immigrants from Australia, Egypt and Montenegro. The test, Life in the UK, is a computer-based test. We need to answer 25 multiple choice questions. We found these demographic questions to be the hardest. As a study, we decided to transfer the information into sandwiches. This is quite funny. These sandwiches represent the demographic breakdown of the UK population according to the UK 2001 census. Predominantly white bread and cucumber sandwiches, the white element of the population, but they are updated to reflect the true ethnic community. So saltfish and acai and dal represent the Caribbean and Indian population, goat's cheese and tamarind, black African and Pakistani Bangladesh populations, and the plantain crisps and avocado sandwiches, which represent black other. By the time you add all the application fees together, the total cost of attaining citizenship is going to be £1,680, worth every penny. It's strange how a passport can give you so much freedom. It's ridiculous, but I totally feel it. I'm totally appreciative of it. I'm in contact with Egypt at the moment, like every day, especially because of what's been happening with the revolution. So I remember my father telling me like a couple of months ago that it was something that Egypt really needed, a revolution, and it just wasn't going to happen because of the oppression and torture that happens there for anyone who kind of opposes the regime. I was definitely worried because I didn't know what would happen, what the government would do. So on the 25th, from that day onwards, every day people were going out into the streets, and 2 days after or 3 days after, he'd shut down the internet, shut down the telephones, I couldn't get through. There were thugs out on the streets with weapons and killing people. I was watching the speech that he gave the day before he resigned.
Almost 9 p.m. Cairo time, and the vibe is still strong.
20% of the population had been out on the streets and he still wasn't listening. I was in disbelief, I was in worry. If he wasn't going to resign, what was he going to do? Like how was he going to continue? And I thought that it could have changed his gear and gone quite bloody. What's happening in Libya at the moment, I thought that was going to happen to Egypt. I felt that was it, I'd lost hope, but the next day he resigned and it was all joy again. My family are extremely excited, they're happy, just hearing the stories of people coming together and looking out for each other and organising themselels and really making a point of being peaceful and strong. And if something came out of that no one was allowed to see before, we weren't allowed to see that we could be organised and be creative. And Mubarak's gone now, but it's still quite a delicate time, and I think everyone knows that the hard work's going to happen now, but it feels like there's hope or something, that there is the future, and I want to go there now because and see what's going on. So yeah, I didn't think I had a bond, but I've just realised that I do. I was speaking to a friend a couple of days ago, and they mentioned the English people that protest, about cuts, about, it's not, they don't really have anything to protest about when you compare it to what's been going on. But you don't have to wait for it to get that oppressed before you have to shout about something, And I'm hoping maybe that because of all of this kind of unrest that's happening in the Middle East, people are paying attention to what's going on. I think it's everyone's duty and everyone's right to say their opinion, and it's important, Otherwise, if you don't, it could slowly deteriorate to become what it has been in the Middle East. So I'm in a band called the Liftmen where I play bass and I sing, and I'm in another band called Annika where I'm a session player. Any kind of musical instrument I can try, I will. I've already made a solo album. It's been a slow process for me to where I am today, and for ages while I was doing music I just thought that there were just rules that people knew about that I didn't know about. I just could never do a solo because I thought I didn't know what to do. It took me ages to realise you're just supposed to do what you want to do. I think I was rebelling all my life against the oppression of growing up in the Arab world, and I just didn't want to, and so I kind of kept away from it. People must do that as they get older, they kind of want to look back at their roots again, and collecting Arabic music again, and wanting it to sink in and wanting it to be a part of my next writing. I teach at BIM, I teach songwriting and the recording studio. If kids aren't encouraged to play and explore and be creative when they're young, it's really difficult to do that when you're older. And I'm getting really political here, but I do think that's how countries kind of keep their people oppressed. By teaching, I'm learning even more. When I'm helping someone say something that they were really scared to say, or that they've never said, or they found out something about themselves, through music, it's like planting seeds of confidence. I mean, I think that's what everyone wants. If the kids are confident, you just have a healthy society, a healthy life. I do feel like Bristol's my home, definitely. It's my home, it's my base. I feel like I would travel around, but I think I'd always come back to Bristol.